Hello everybody and welcome to today's YouTube vlog! I messed up, right? You're going to have to show me up.
Oh, sorry, is that because you're ill?
Sorry.
Welcome to today's YouTube vlog! There you go.
There we go.
Spot on, mate.
Right, we're keeping it going. So, if you didn't watch last week's vlog, you may know Robert is off this week and we didn't know if it'd be a vlog or not. So, me and Ryan thought we might as well go for it. So, well, today we got a very interesting vlog. So, we're going to go back to probably about 5-6 months ago. It was a long time ago. I was servicing a Arga cooker at a boiler at a customer we've known for many years. And when I was here, the conversation sprung. He was saying that his daughter had an Arga cooker and they took it out and it's been in storage for years and years because no one wants it. So I said as a joke, I'll have it, and he went alright. So now me and Ryan are currently en route to go and pick up an Arga cooker, and then well, if you want to, we can have a little refurbishment series because, you know, we definitely know how to refurbish an Arga. And yeah, and probably in 10 years time you might end up in my kitchen. So well, roll the montage. Ladies and gentlemen, so it's currently the end of the next day after we picked up Sir Arga, and yeah, well, I had quite an interesting day. So I've done all my servicing and then I had a couple of breakdowns. I had one boiler which was popping fuses, which was quite peculiar. When you turned it all on and it was all running, all the valves, all the pump was running, it was fine. Then the second you plugged the burner in, pop. So we've gone through it all, unplugged everything on the burner, that was all happy and dandy. And I said, all burner was fine, and then when you plug it in, it still went pop. So then we went through all the wiring and everything. So it was a wall hung drum with under the little panels, and the boiler thermostat on there. When you take the panel off, it had like a little black burn mark behind it. I took a picture, so Auntie Karen, if you want to insert picture on the screen, yeah, you could see it, and I just found it quite peculiar. I've never really seen that before. They don't go wrong, them stats. I think, so that's the first one I've seen that's gone wrong. And then I think my brother saw one once before where it was making a weird noise. So you ever have a Grandad thermostat, when they go wrong, they are weird things. And then what else did I had? I went to a service and they're saying the pressure relief valve was leaking, and then I went there, a copper pipe had a hole in it, the hot water feed. So, well, I'll show the picture of that as well. I'll say it's all on your screen now. I'll say it's all corroded, and I'll say I have a pinhole in it, had probably about 7 in there, so we just cut it out, redid it all, and that's all happy and dandy. And yeah, I'm now back at the unit where, well, we're going to finish off what we started yesterday. So we picked up Sir Arga, and when I'm looking at it, well, it looks in better condition than I originally thought, but it still doesn't look great. So I say, let's go around it and see what we've got ourselves into. So here is Sir Arga. It was quite funny really, because when we was on the way back, my dad was at the farm, and obviously Robert, or my dad, he is meant to, he's meant to be off this week, and he wanted a trailer, so he got dragged into this unfortunately, so he's not really off. So yeah, here she is, Sir Arga. As you can see, it is in quite a state. So we'll start with all the panels, we'll see what we're going through. So I say there's quite a bit of surface rust on there, but then when you go up here, it's got a couple of rusty holes in it. But it was stored in like one of them half-open barns, so it's got quite a bit of weathering on it. But luckily, these are just really thin bits of metal, so that should be easy to make something fit. We should be able to buy them. And you've got the back of the Arga. That looks in really good nick. Could do a bit of a polish, maybe a bit of a sand down. I'd say that's all looking really good. And then we've got this side of the Arga. This side looks a lot better than the other one. I'll say this one still got some of its paint. You've got a bit of surface rust here and there. But I think this side might be revivable. But the bit which has made me very excited is obviously the front is what you see. is actually in very, very good condition. So they've got a lovely white Arga. What I love about these Argas is they've got a nice silver Arga logo. So we've got a 3-door one. Obviously you have a burner in there, and then you've got your 2 cookers. And then on top, I haven't actually looked in it. So let's do a little unboxing. So we've got wood to start off with. And then I guess we've got little trays where you can cook on. That's quite exciting, really. I say they literally took it out of the house, wrapped it up and stuck it out there. And then we got this, which I guess that's just some back plate, I guess. As I say, there's a lot of interesting things in there. And then we got some more grills. Got a nice lid here. And I say, to be fair, quite good nick. That steel is very, very hard, but you can get kits from these from Argo. I remember a customer telling me. So you can always do a little refurbishment one. There's also a spare door. So you've got the fire valve, you've got the black malarkey. So as you go down there is a lot of rust on it, but in reality, again, it's all just surface rust. That's all fine. There's nothing where you can just sand it all down and give it a good old clean. I say the only thing which I think isn't quite repairable is this side panel, but this one looks in very good nick. I don't want to take it too far apart at the moment because we just got it sitting on the back of the truck on a pallet and the pallet's broke, so we don't want to take it apart because you may know Argas weigh about half a ton and I don't think I can move that by itself. We've got a flue of it as well. Here's the exciting part. So obviously at the back you've got the Arga top, and as you can see, I say it's got a bit of it's mainly just rust. I say obviously we can't get right in there, but it's a lot of this dust on it. So I think we might get away with maybe giving it a polish and a good old clean. Worst case, you can get it all re-annulled and they basically just come take it away and then they make it all nice. But to be fair, compared to for a free Arga, and the customer said it was 1962, I think. So what, 60 odd years old. It's in very, very good shape. Overall, I think this one's actually quite revivable, which I'm very, very happy about. I've always wanted an Arga. And here we go. So I'm sure at some point you'll get an update on it. As I say, I think we're planning on stripping it all down and then we're going to rebuild it in place, then wrap it up and store it until it's ready to go in someone's house.
So I am on my way to a reported breakdown, which is a lovely customer of ours, and I've never been to the house before, but she has reported that she has no heating or hot water, which is no good. So I am on my way there now. We're going to have a little look. Obviously, it doesn't necessarily mean that the boiler has broken down. It could be a system issue or lots of different things. So I'm going to bring you there. We'll go have a little look what this breakdown is. And then I've got a service after. And I'll probably bring you along to that as well. So yeah, I'll catch you there. Well, that's a bit of a disaster. I arrived and there was no pressure. Boiler had overheated. I thought, alright, stick some pressure in it. What's the worst that can happen? Got up to a bar. Sweet. Got to the boiler. Yeah. And as you can saw, there's a pinhole. Very quickly, had to clean up the water that squirted everywhere. I've drained it all to make sure that no water goes anywhere, and I'm afraid that boiler is going to be chucked in the bin. So when you find a problem like that with a water jacket that's rotted out, there's just simply nothing you can do apart from replace it. Sometimes you can stick a bottle of system sealant in there and that seals it up, but with the way and how rusty that was at the bottom, with all the leaks and that, it's way too far gone. So yeah, drained that one, left it in a good way, but obviously the customer's going to be cold. But yeah, we'll get that sorted out very swiftly, and yeah, on to the service. Hopefully it goes a bit better.
Right, just a quick one for me. So I just got to a breakdown, which is a very smelly boiler. And, well, before this, I had a service. And normally, my toolbox sits there. And it's disappeared. So I think I managed to leave my whole toolbox at someone's house. So well done me.
Look at this. External grant. Brilliant. This is my next service. Now, not much to show you on these, let's be honest. If you haven't already, there's a really in-depth video on our channel about servicing one of these. So go check that out if you wanna learn something new about the grants. But what about this? Oh, brilliant. 2 tanks right next to each other. Combustible fence right next to it, fantastic. Look at the base. Not that it matters, because it's so illegal already. But look how small that base is around it. That don't extend correctly, does it? No. And if that's not good enough, let's stick a wooden shed next to it as well. Fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. Problem is, one of the tanks is for this house, and one of the tanks is for the next door neighbour. So, I wonder how the next door neighbour's going to take it when they come to their tank and find a humongous warning sticker on it, telling them it needs sorting out. Brilliant.
Update on the tool situation. After about 25-minute journey, we've been reunited, yeah! So, I'm currently at a breakdown where they have a fault with their boiler keep running. So as you can see, the hot water's off, the heating's off, it's all turned off, and the wireless thermostat's off. But if you listen really carefully, the pump's still running, which means the boiler's firing when it shouldn't be, which is not very good. So here we have the heating valve, and so it should be off, but it's got a bit of wiggle there, which means it's only half shut, which means that the boiler is slowly still leaking by, which means the pump's kicking in, means the boiler's kicking in, and the house is heating up, or it's meant to be. So we're going to change that right now. Ignore cool transition because that's the wrong valve. Basically what's happened is the hot water valve has a constant life to it, and that's because the orange wire right there, also known as your switch live, has always got a life to it. So it's actually the hot water valve, surprise surprise. So glad I cut the wire to the wrong valve for no reason. Marvellous. So sweet transition again in 3, 2, 1. Whoa, and there we go. As you can see, we got a lovely new EBI. Hang on, I don't think it was EBI, was it? Oh, EBH motorized valve. This isn't a transformer. And as you can see, put a nice hot water sticker on it. It was all sat in there all nicely. It was an absolute pain to do. But this is exactly why you should get a boiler man to do all your wiring, because look, electricians have been here before. Look at all the mess they've made. So you know, while there, it doesn't always give it a little brush, does it? Ooh, take that as well, you know, just clean up after myself. Yesterday, I managed to leave my toolbox at service, and today I managed to leave my emission tester at my service. So that's how my week's going. It's going spot the dot.
Okay, we've just had a call come in, and it's a smelly boiler. Boiler's running and it's smelling. Now, being an engineer is quite a scary one. That worst case scenario could be sooted up, which is horrible. Or it could have best case scenario, a little oil leak, or maybe a combustion leak, or something like that. So, you know, could go one or two ways, but I'm going to bring you along to this one, because I think this is going to be a good one, because it could be anything, and I'll show you how to diagnose and work out what is smelling. Now, I need to get some stock first because I'm running low. So let's go say hello to Auntie Karen, shall we? Also, I am Sapphire registered now. So this can go up on our special wall. Right, here we are. Got a few bits I need. Auntie Karen, say hello.
Hello.
Running the business by herself while Dad's gone. On to the next one. Haha, yes please. So yeah, as you can see, the condenser's come apart. Now, I'm not convinced that's the smell. I'm getting a bit of an oily smell. I can't see any visual oil leaks at the moment, but I'm going to investigate further. But first things first, sort that condenser out. So, upon further inspection, now, I don't have the oil line connected anymore, so we're not going to have any oil. But this coil stem here is actually leaking oil from that seal there. Now, sometimes what you can do is get a 15mm spanner, stick it round there, very, very gently give it a nip, and that stops it from leaking, making the pump good again. But in this case, I nipped it up and it started pouring out, which can happen quite often. So sadly for the customer, what we're going to have to do is slap a new pump on. I couldn't really record what I wanted to record to that house because, to be honest with you, the customers were very lovely and we're having a chat most of the time. So obviously I didn't want to put them in the video or anything. And to be honest with you, it's quite embarrassing recording things whilst people are watching you because I fumble my words too much. Anyway, as you can see, I arrived at property. First thing, have a smell. I had a smell. I smell oil. Visually, obviously, I noticed that the condense pipe had totally come apart. That does happen sometimes. If you ever service in a boiler and you see a joint that's got crust around it, needs changing. Another good thing to do if you're servicing a boiler, which not a lot of people do, but I do it, is when you put your hands up to the joint, pull on it. I know it sounds silly, pull on it. If it comes apart, it's going to leak, innit? Anyway, but like I say, I sorted that out. Got some condensed glue, just pushed it in there nice and tight. I think they sort of cut the pipe too short, but I managed to get it in there and glued real solid, so I know that'll be fine. But as I said, I noticed the oil smell. Now, if you're an engineer, you can clearly tell the difference between a fume smell and an oil smell, right? I smell oil. If you're smelling fumes or you don't know if it's fumes or it's oil, then just check absolutely everything, you know, check all the joints. Make sure you take the pump out and you check the pump stem where you put the drive coupling on, because that leaks quite often. Take the coil off, check the coil stem, because that leaks quite often. Check the pump pressure adjuster, because that can leak as well. Oil line, anything. Check all the oil line, the flexible oil line, all the joints, everything. If you know there's no oil leak there, and like I say, sometimes fumes can smell of oil, but a good way to check if you've got a fume leak as well is, well, look for burn marks, look for build-up of sort of crust around gaskets. You know it's leaking if you have a build-up of crust somewhere around the gasket. Don't get it confused for water though, because if water leaks, that can crust up as well. But the easiest thing to do is you can actually buy combustion gas leak detectors, which I don't know because I don't have one, because I don't need one. But I've always thought about getting one because, you know, if I can just hold a thing around there, sort of like what you do if you're a gas engineer, just hold it around there, you know, and you know you've got a gas leak. But the best thing to do is, if you have an analyzer, which you should have if you're touching any oil boiler, and an emissions tester, hold it around there and see if you get any readings. Even if you get 0.1%, you got a leak somewhere, you know. So I noticed in this case that the coil stem was leaking. Ideally, what we'd love to be able to do is to take the coil stem out, put a new seal on there and do it back up, not having to change the oil pump. But to be honest with you, most of the time that doesn't work. And also, a lot of pumps, you can't do that anymore. Throwaway society. The best thing to do as an engineer to guarantee a successful fix is to just replace the oil pump. Don't risk it, just change it. It will last for ages, it will work, it will fix the problem. So like I say, yeah, well, that's my last job. So yeah, I'm on my way home now. So yeah, brilliant. Quite an easy one really, to be honest. At least it won't set it up, but yeah. We move.
Well, after a quick 5-minute diversion, we've been reunited, and well, the most depressing part about Liz is that I generally got it last week. I've already left our house. I'm not doing very well this week. I know occasionally we all maybe need like a spanner or a screwdriver, but I'm quite good at not leaving tools behind. But somehow I managed to leave my whole toolbox and my whole kit bag behind. Like, it's just one of them weeks, isn't it? I do apologise about how strange this video has been so far, but when Robert's not here, we do just fall to pieces, so can't wait for you to come back. But to spice it up, we're going to be servicing a nice little wall start. There you go, Karen. Nice little thumbnail for you. How can we do this? So wall starts are very good boilers. They're easy to work on, easy to fix. They're reliable. They work really efficiently. They're amazing. If you don't know what boiler to get, highly recommend a wall start. boiler is now in function, so it had a good clean. It's about showing as we can get it. So the next part is obviously you check your pump pressures, but I've already done that. I'm not going to tell you exactly what they're meant to be because every board is different, and I don't want to tell you something, link it to your board and it stops working. If you want to know, just look in your manufacturer's guide, it'll tell you all your stuff in there. So now what we do is we grab our mission tester. This one we use is a Kane 958. These are really, really good ones. I say they're really reliable, and I've only had it a week. And the thing I love most about this kit is we just appreciate how long this hose is. It's huge. So let's test it. What we do is just slide that in there. You don't want to pull it in too far, even I'll put it in very far. So now what we're going to do is we're going to be looking at the CO2. Watch that creep up for now. Then we've got this, which is your efficiencies in net, not gross. And it tells you all your fluid temperatures and stuff. If we move this over here, it can tell us our carbon monoxide and our NOx ratings. So yeah, so CO2, the best part about these kits is how quick they read. So CO2 at the moment is 11.5. So on a non-condensing boiler, I set them up about 10.5. You want it between 10 and 11 really. If you go any higher, they'll set up. If they're any lower, then it'll be over red and keep blowing the flame out. So to adjust that, we do is you grab an Allen key or a T. Normally there's a little black cover on there, you just take the screw off. I've already done that because when you take this off, obviously you've got to bleed it as well, get the air out of it. So yeah, so what you do is you put a little air adjuster. So that is high, so 11.6. So what we want to do is add air to it to make it go down. So yeah, so you add air to make it go down, you take it away for it to go up. So we're going to turn that a couple of turns. Gotta say we want this to be about 10.5 and O2 normally about 6%. Obviously it's a bit low at the moment because it's set up a bit rich, so we added air. So O2's gone up, I've turned it too much now, but that is better. And at the moment she's running at 89.1% efficient. So we will take away the air now to make it go up because I've gone too far. The only other thing which I'd say, when you test it, make sure the boiler's nice and hot when you do it. I say you want to plug it in, let it run for a little while, let it all get nice and warm, because when the boiler's running, the higher the emissions are. So I can set it up now, but when it goes up, it might be 0.5% or percentage higher. So obviously keep an eye on it. As I say, we're looking good now. 10.5, there we go. I say it's 88.8% efficient, which is very good. O2 levels about right, I'll do a little tweak there. CO, 10 parts per million, we love that. That will drop a tiny bit, obviously we put a new nozzle in it, basically to burn off all the air in the line, and then that'll drop a little bit. And we've got our NOx levels, they're all nice and low. So overall, it's running really, really well, which is good. If you ever got, say, any questions like bearings or filters, just go through the channel, there's always loads of little answers there and there. But for now, for this job, that is a mission success. So I was just looking back through our clips we got off today, and well, I did a little clip of my granddad's genius idea. Grandad, if you're watching this, you're a genius. So if you are an Arga engineer, you may know on the old Argas, the hobs are ridiculously heavy and sometimes in very awkward places. Oh, hello Rupert. So the amount of times that I've either blown my back out, or if you lift it out, and sometimes if you've got something above it, you might drag it and then damage the Arga, give it a good scratch. But with this crane, I'd say it's just an incredible invention. It's so simple. It's literally a frame. you sit across, drop a bar in it, it lifts it up. Doesn't hurt my back, doesn't hurt my arm. It's just so easy, and it's so easy to position it as well. So then you know the hob's nice and central. So Grandad, again, if you're watching this, you are a genius. Unfortunately, this is the end of today's YouTube vlog.
Oh,
no.
Oh, you're gonna have to see Robert again.
I know, unfortunate. So I think this week's been very interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
It's gone very well. And we think, Robert, you are ready for retirement, sir. We've got this under
we've got
control.
it covered.
You've worked so hard your whole life, so yeah.
Yeah.
So from Luna, and Ryan, and me, stay safe.
Stay safe.